Hello, podcast listeners. First up, thank you so much for listening to and supporting the podcast. We really, really appreciate it. We love doing it and we love getting the amazing comments in from all of you. Just a quick reminder that the Your Success book is out now on amazon.co.uk and amazon.com. It's currently available in both paperback and Kindle, and the audiobook will be coming out in 2019. Head to tiny.cc/yourbook to check it out. That's tiny.cc/yourbook to check it out. Now, on with the podcast.
Welcome to Your Success Podcast. We give you actionable insight and stories behind real-life success wherever you go. Here are your hosts, Angelos and Mo.
Welcome to Your Success Podcast. I'm Mo.
And I'm Angelos.
How many reps have you done, mate?
Don't want to boast or anything, but it's about 12,000, something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
Brilliant. So welcome to a very special Your Success Podcast with James Jordan, Health and Wellbeing Advisor at Nuffield Health.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and also my personal trainer, which obviously everyone can see. Mm-hmm. I've done pretty well recently.
You're looking pretty trim.
Yeah, it's all down to this man. So we wanted to do a podcast today. Obviously, you've been on the podcast before, which is great, and it's really well received. We wanted to do another one today. Sort of as busy people, it's becoming increasingly difficult to make time for the most important investment you can make, which is in yourself and in your own health. So today we want to sit down and talk about some of the things that people can do to sort of make their day-to-day lives better and make them a bit more healthy. So we have quite sedentary lifestyles. We sort of sit down at home, we sit down in the car, we sit down and go to work. Yeah. What are some of the things that people need to look out for, and what can they do to make sure they're staying sort of fit and healthy?
Yeah, so usually most people's day-to-day life literally is wake up, drive to work, get a tube to work, sit in front of a desk all day, drive home, sit in front of a TV all night. There isn't much movement anymore in people's day-to-day lives. You know, supermarkets, you get delivered to the house. Shopping is ordered online. So there's no need for people to even go out anymore. So it's just actually making that decision of, I need to move more. Right, how do I move? It doesn't have to be coming to a gym. Obviously, we're here in Nuffield and Plymouth, but it doesn't mean you have to come here. You can go out for a walk. It doesn't matter. Take the stairs instead of the escalator. It's little changes will all add up to a bigger picture. And what are some of are there common issues that you see in people that have quite sort of stationary lifestyles? Yeah, so obviously, as now we're obviously sat down, so my hamstrings are shortened, so my hip flexors. Yeah. Whereas if that becomes a day-to-day routine of 5, 6, 7 hours, this becomes the norm. Yeah. So my hamstrings are tight, my hip flexors are tight. So as soon as I stand up, because they're tight, they're used to be in that position, it pulls, and that pulls on your lower back. So in the UK at the minute, sick day-wise, 30.8 million days a year I took through musculoskeletal problems, which is lower back, upper back, postural problems. So I think of the amount of days lost in work just through such a simple thing of getting people moving more, stretching out their hamstrings a little bit, and all of a sudden they've eradicated their lower back issues. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 anyway.
Yeah, so what can employers do then, James, to try and reduce this kind of thing? How can they encourage people to move more? Yeah. When you want them tied to the desk.
Yeah, obviously, So obviously, you want them to work, but if they're taking all these days off, actually, by allowing them to get up every half hour, move, grab a drink, grab a glass of water, that's actually going to help you long term by not losing them for days and maybe potentially weeks at a time through back issues. Obviously now more and more actual offices are bringing in stand-up desks. So you can either obviously use it as a standard desk, bench under, or you can raise it up. So they are standing, and all of a sudden they do half hour standing. All of a sudden they're actually going to start burning a few calories. They're going to have to use their core a bit more. The hamstrings are lengthened, the hip flexors are lengthened, and hopefully long term they won't have these lower back issues.
Yeah. Do you see some people, or is it good advice for employers to ask their employees to sit on a round ball? So
yes, great. Yeah, great. So obviously a stability ball, most people see, and usually a lot of pregnant women use them, obviously to help with loosening up before they go off and give birth. Mm-hmm. But getting it actually in a desk, because the ball's moving around, your core is constantly stabilising, your lower back is having to kick in.
Does it force you to sit upright?
It forces you to sit upright. You can't lean back, slump down, roll your shoulders over, type away for hours on end. You've got to sit upright. You're 100 before an office. You don't want that in an office, do you?
Yeah. So there's definitely some things that I think there's still more we need to do in our office, but there's a couple of little things that we do where we've got stands for the guys generally use laptops. So having stands, so actually the laptop sits at eye level, or having monitors that are plugged into the laptop, using keyboards and a mouse instead of, like you say, hunching over a laptop. So, but I think it's really interesting around standing up desks as well. Like we've looked at those before; they look like they could be quite good.
So yes, it is a bit of an investment. But actually, you're probably making money back within a year of people not having these sick days off.
Yeah, definitely. That's really interesting. And the other thing that we wanted to talk about was water, because it's so readily available and things like that, but people just don't drink enough. Right?
No, nowhere near. So apart from oxygen and air, it's probably the second most needed thing. You don't drink enough water or drink any water across 3 or 4 days, potentially you can die. So you need water. Really essential, especially in a workplace, because mentally it's going to help keep you a lot more focused on your work. So instead of going for coffees, having your pickups drop off, so all day long you are literally doing on a roller coaster of having sugar spikes from coffee back down, whereas water is going to maintain your actual mental.
But how does it do it from a physical point of view or a biological point of view, James? What does the water do to make you stay alert and good through the day?
So obviously your brain needs a lot of water, your whole body needs a lot of water. So if there isn't enough water within your brain, the electricity that's flying away in your brain can't fire properly. So that's one of the main reasons. It's going to monitor people's blood pressure a lot more, so it'll keep that a lot more stable. Whereas if they're not drinking enough water, people usually have raised blood pressure because the blood becomes a little bit thicker. So blood-wise should be around about 90 to 95% water. Whereas if you're dehydrated, obviously that reduces. It's a bit of a over-exaggeration, but think you're dehydrated, your blood becomes like honey. And then all of a sudden your heart has to pump a lot harder to push that blood around. So all of a sudden people's blood pressure is raised.
Is it true what they say that by the time you're thirsty, it's too late? You're already
so if you
dehydrated by then.
So if you feel thirsty, you're 2 to 3 hours into dehydration already. So when you go to it should be fairly clear. We're not talking actually water-like, but a bit of colour, but it's not a dark yellow. You're dehydrated. Your body needs to get those toxins out of the body.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting fact for you.
Are you going to talk about how you just went to the toilet?
No.
What colour it was?
No.
Okay.
Just a little baby, and his wees are completely clear, but he's drinking just breast milk, right?
Yeah.
So he must be very, very hydrated.
Yeah, so he's staying very hydrated.
Yeah.
Obviously, is it he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably obviously having breast milk every 2 to 3 hours, staying hydrated.
Maybe I need to speak to my wife then.
That's a separate podcast. So just sort of along that line, you said that water can also help you sort of stay more mentally alert.
Yes.
One of the questions that we had was, when you feel like you've got a bit of a slump in energy and you need that quick fix, so water, what else do you think would be good for? Because I think the temptation is, you go for that chocolate bar,
you want
sugary,
that quick fix, you want that little pick-me-up.
What would you recommend for that? If you've got to go to a meeting or you've got to go and, show up?
I would always say half a pint of water, apple and a banana. Okay. It's slow-releasing carbohydrates. So yes, it is sugar, but it's a fructose sugar, so it breaks down the stomach a lot. It takes a lot longer to break down the stomach compared to a Mars bar, which is simple sugars. So say, for instance, the Mars bar, all that sugar's within your system within an hour and a half, giving you that spike. Whereas fruit would take a little bit longer to break down. So that's that banana, that apple may take 3 hours to eventually break down fully, so you get use of all that sugar. So your energy levels, again, just stay a lot more consistent. And that's with your food. If you're having quick sugars, quick fixes on the go, again, you're on that roller coaster all day long. You peak, you drop off. Where's my next pick-me-up?
The classic carb coma after lunch if you have too many carbs.
If you're getting to 3 o'clock every day and you're feeling fatigued, you should probably start looking at what you're having for lunch. Is that going to help you last from lunch until your dinner time? Or do you get to 3 o'clock every day and go, I need a coffee, I need a cup of tea, and some biscuits, and a chocolate bar, whatever it may be, you want that pick-me-up.
Okay, James, so exercise.
Yes.
Okay, really, really important. We talked about food and maintaining that level of energy through the day. So there's things called high-intensity training, and then obviously the opposite, the low-intensity training. So HIIT versus LIT. Can you just explain to our viewers at home what the difference is and the advantages, disadvantages of of those during the course of the day? Let's say you're in the office and you've got an hour, maybe you can do a bit of exercise there just to boost yourself up, that kind of thing.
Sure. So HIIT has become really popular recently. Here at Nuffield, we've just launched some new sprint classes, Les Mills Sprint, which is a 30-minute basic HIIT session on a bike, where it's high intensity. It'll be 20 seconds work, 10 seconds recovery, or 40 seconds work, 20 seconds recovery. So that sort of ratio of double the amount of work to rest period. Yeah. The good thing with HIIT is it improves your fitness, it helps with weight loss, and you can do it in 30 minutes. So if you are conscious of time, you've got limited time on your hands, perfect. You can get all the results you want within a short period of time. Whereas when we look at low intensity training, it's looking at keeping your heart rate at a certain level, not allowing it to get too high. And the problem with that is, you need an hour 15, hour 20. And how many of you actually have an hour 20 to spare in your day just training? Not including your shower, not including traveling to the gym, traveling to and from the gym. You can write off 2 hours there easily.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because we started off by saying, people are increasingly busy and they don't have time to get to the gym and to look after themselves. But actually, what we're saying now is, it's 30 minutes of actual exercise, there's some traveling and shower. Actually, how long do people spend watching TV? How long do they spend on social media? How long do they spend, at the pub? It's just an excuse if there's no time. It's just an excuse, and it's not like good planning and things like that.
So is one better than the other then? If you want to lose weight quickly,
if you want to lose weight quickly and you're tied on time, HIIT is perfect because your body, it can't stabilize. It doesn't know what's coming, and it will just throw calories out because you're working to maximum. A HIIT session, you should finish a HIIT session, gone. You should be a mess, a proper sweaty mess. Whereas LIT, it takes time. By the time you finish, yes, you've probably burnt roughly the same amount of calories, but you've saved half the amount of time.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. Right, so I use a thing called the Matrix at home.
Yeah.
As you can see, it works really well. But
can I get a copy of it?
Yeah. It was going through the roof.
So you've got a grid of 9, and you've got different exercises, you've got different numbers, and you can just confuse your body like that.
Yeah.
Here's a question I've always had. If your mind knows what's coming, can your body get ready for it? Is there a connection there, or is it literally your body's just going to be confused the hell out of everything if you keep changing it?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. That's what we try and get everyone to do in the gym. Yes, we set some programs, periodise their training, but then at the end of that periodised 12 weeks, we completely changed up their training. Your body will get used to a certain routine.
Which means you won't burn as many calories.
It just knows what's coming. It knows the routine. It knows how to... It doesn't need to adapt anymore. And that's what we want for your body. If you're looking at getting better results, you've got, okay, how can I shock my body? How can I make it change? The body doesn't want to change. It's happy being in homeostasis, which is as you are. If you want to lose weight, you've got to make your body lose weight. If you want to gain weight, again, you've got to do something to allow your body to gain weight.
And I suppose the other part of the question, what's better, HIIT or LIT? It depends what you're doing on the nutrition side as well, right? Because you could be doing half an hour of HIIT or 2 hours of LIT.
So if we go back to weight loss and you want to lose weight and you haven't changed your diet at all, so you're still in a calorie surplus, it doesn't matter. Whether you're burning 600 calories through HIIT, whether you're burning 600 calories through LIT, if you're not in that calorie deficit, you're not going to lose weight. So it all does come back to diet completely.
Talking of diet, James, so we all know about cheat days, right? Where you can have one day or a few hours where you can just go to town and have a few Mars bars or whatever else. How do you Mars bars? That's what I do on my cheat day. What do you do?
Just getting as many Mars bars as I can.
What do you do for a cheat day, James?
I don't really have a cheat day. Don't have a cheat day at all. If I fancy something, I'll have it. Mm-hmm. Whether it be a Monday, whether it be a Sunday, it makes no difference to me because I know 95% of the time I eat a stable diet. Even things like alcohol, I'm not going to lie, I'll drink alcohol Thursday, Friday, Saturday, guaranteed. But it doesn't mean that I beat myself up about it because I know I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have a good breakfast, my lunch will be good. If I do have a snack, it's going to be fruit, it's going to be nuts, it's going to be just healthy food. Evening meal again, very healthy. I'll have a glass of wine in my evening now.
I think you earn that flexibility because you train so much. But I think for most people, they have a cheat day, and then the next day is like, cheat day, and then the next day it's like cheat day.
I think we know the answer to this question, but how do you stop a cheat day becoming a cheat week or month, or decade?
Part of it is self-discipline, and not beating yourself up. It's so easy to go, I feel really bad, I shouldn't have eaten that. And some people will be emotional eaters. So if you know you're an emotional eater, you just got to allow yourself, okay, I've worked hard over the last 5 days, my diet's been good, I've trained hard. Enjoy yourself. Life is for living at the end of the day. When you look at these physique models, front page of Men's Health, you've got to remember that, apart from Mo, that is their job day to day, to stay in that shape. You've got to dedicate your life, and to be in that shape constantly. It does mean no cheat days, no alcohol, training twice a day. But people don't live their life like that.
What I found through working with you is sometimes you get out of the groove, and there's like a week or so that I won't train. But the days that you come in, or that I come in early. Because I've trained early, that whole day I'm thinking about
you're in a good mindset.
Yeah, so what's the point in having a multi-pack of Mars bars? Because it's sort of just, I know I've got to then come in the next day and work even harder. It's almost like breaking that cycle.
It is trying to break that cycle. And not trying to over-exercise a poor diet, because you'll never catch up. But this morning I did a 30-minute HIIT spin class, and I burnt 400 calories on the bike. That's what it's telling me. I burnt 400 calories, or 412 or what it is. That's probably only on one and a bit Mars bars. So you're constantly playing catch up, and you won't be able to out-train a poor diet. So you've got to make sure, actually, if I want to have that 2 Mars bars, do I just go, I just eat more today and potentially put weight on, or do I just have a smaller breakfast, like a smaller lunch, have a normal dinner, and then I allow myself to have those 2 Mars bars? So there's no reason why you can't go about that.
Pre-planning, if you're going out for dinner and there's not, you're not going to be able to control what you're having. Don't have as much in the lead up to it.
So going out for dinner is a great one, because you may even think you're having the healthy option. Remember, it's a restaurant, it's got to taste nice. You're not going to go back house. So yes, you're having the salmon and the salad, but that salmon's probably coated in oil and butter. It's made to taste nice. If you're going out for a meal, for some people it's a luxury. Enjoy going out. Just go, okay, I'm going to have a slightly smaller breakfast and make up for it that way.
So James, you've been doing this many years, training people. This beautiful refurbished Nuffield gym. It's amazing, by the way. What do you think the biggest transformation you've seen personally, and also what do you think the contributing factors were for them to have such a big transformation for the better?
I've trained 2 people that have lost incredible amounts of weights. I hope they don't mind me saying this. A guy called Denver, worked with him maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and he probably lost 10 to 12 stone. Incredible achievements. His goal was to end up running the Plymouth Half Marathon, which when he started was a million miles away. Walking to the bus stop was a challenge. And for him, it was just consistency again. It was, I want to go off and I want to do this. I'm going to prove to people I can do it. And he started off with another personal trainer that I know, a guy called Mallard, and he got him moving, got him going through his compound movements, and he just found the enjoyment. When he joined the gym group, it was a nice atmosphere for him to be in. It was ideal. Denver, you're back in, cool. Right, what we're going to do with you today? He just felt part of the family. And since moving away from there and moving to Nuffield, we have a great almost community here where you can walk in and you can see people and just bring them part of your life. So you want to be here, and then you go, I'm here, I might as well do something. I might as well jump in on a class, or do I jump in on the gym floor? Or the PTs have said, right, let's just do an ad hoc session. Right, Denver, what we're going to do, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And for him, it was just all about being in that community and to help him push on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think one thing you said there, which is really key, is about consistency. And it's something that we talk about almost probably every podcast, I'd say almost, is the compound effect. Yeah, just small changes multiplied over time have so much more impact than a big change sustained for a small period.
Yeah.
Have you seen people come in and hitting it really hard for 6 weeks or so, and then
it's this time of year.
Yeah,
it's holidays. It's holiday season. I've got to get fit for the beach. I don't want to be that fat person on the side of the pool again, wearing my t-shirt around the pool with horrible tan lines. I don't want that to be me again. So they join up, they get a PT, and we beast them for 6 weeks because it's holiday. That is their focus. Yeah. They go on holiday. They feel a bit better about themselves because they've lost a little bit of weight. They're feeling a little bit more confidence, and I won't see them again until next May, June time, because
the summer crew.
Yeah, summer crew, standard summer crew. They come in, do what they got to do, get themselves ready for the beach. Actually, long term, are they do anything for their health?
One last question, James, for you. You said something really interesting in the previous podcast, and I think it's worth mentioning again. So I'm going to ask you the same question. So what kind of time do you need to commit to achieve your dream body, and about realistic expectations as well?
Is that as in how much time you invest in here, or
just
to
generally?
reach your
I
goal?
think the contrast, I think, is people's expectations of, they've eaten crap for 10 years and they expect to lose it in a week or something.
Yeah. So usually what I say to people is, if it has took you 5 years to get to the shape you are in now, potentially it's going to take you another 5 years to get to where you want to be again. So if it's took you 5 years to put on that 3 stone, it's not going to take you 5 years to take it off. But at least invest in a good 9 months as a minimum.
It's not going to happen in a week.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a good nine months to a year to really achieve where you want to end up being.
And I think the other thing that's sort of very sort of a hot topic at the moment is around sort of body positivity and about sort of positive mental health and things like that. And I suppose we want to frame this conversation up as in we're talking about people feeling good about themselves and not necessarily just getting a certain body shape to to compare themselves to others. It's very much about what do you need to do to yourself to feel confident, to feel healthy, to prolong your life. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's all got to be about yourself. Yeah. You can't be looking on Instagram every 10 minutes and be, I wish I looked like them, Because again, a lot of these physique models, they will be taking things that they probably shouldn't be taking to reach these goals, to take them to that next level, which you look up and go, I'd love to be like that. But actually, do you want to be doing these things to your body to achieve this unrealistic goal?
And potentially, they might be putting their lives at risk or shortening their lifespans to get that good, amazing body.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if they don't know what they're taking, because down at Dave's gym, take this, you'll get yourself in great shape.
Can we head to Dave's gym straight after? I need to pick some stuff up.
You don't know what you put in your body. You don't know the research behind it. So I'd never advise anyone to ever go down that route. Somewhere light enough your health is great because we look at your health as an overall picture.
As a whole picture.
We do the health assessments here.
What do you call it? The health MOT?
Yeah, we do a health MOT. Yeah. So we look at things like your blood glucose, cholesterol, blood pressure. We'll do your BMI. We'll do a VO2 max test as well as a lifestyle questionnaire. So we'll look at your sleep, your caffeine, your water, your exercise, your diets, as well as all these actual physical results that we can get and put your health into an overall thing. So we can go, right, you need to sleep more. You need to be drinking more. We need to reduce your caffeine. You need to be drinking more alcohol.
Yeah, that's
we never say that one.
That came up on my health MOT actually. Yeah, it's relevant. Well, James, thank you so much for your time today. It's great having
Pleasure to have you back.
Great having you on. Thank you. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
Cool. So I'm on Facebook as James Jordan Personal Trainer or James Jordan Fitness, or you can contact me through my email, which is all lowercase, jamesjordan_3@hotmail.co.uk, or even to contact me through my mobile of 07963 162 164.
Brilliant. Well, thanks again, James, and thanks for letting us interview these lovely new Nuffield premises.
My pleasure. Great to have you.
Great. So we'd love to know what you think at home about your personal goals. Are you training too much, or are you not doing anything? What do you think about some of what James has said? Can you apply it to your own lives? Please write in at helloyoursuccesspodcast.com or get in contact on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, the whole lot. We're there.
And Your Success book is still out on Amazon, featuring, I think, some quotes from James around what success is, what he defines success as. So grab that Your Success book on Amazon.
Brilliant. So I've been Angelos.
And I've been Mo.
And see you again on the next exciting episode of Your Success Podcast.
You have been listening to Your Success Podcast. Click subscribe for more incredible content. More details can be found at www.yoursuccesspodcast.com.